Welcome to the Derek Harper Podcast, the podcast where we take a book and we sell 100,000 copies, and you get to see exactly how we do it, and you can model the same thing and just replace the book with your service or your product, and you can do the same exact thing that we're doing. We're going to sell 100,000 copies of this book before January 1st, 2024. My name is Derek Harper. You dig? Mr. Fresh. I'm your host, and welcome to the Derek Harper Podcast. I know that you guys are saying, "What? Wait a minute, what's going on? What happened to Project One Business?" Well, Project One Business is still there. We're still working with Project One Business, but we've turned our focus in on our book, the book here. And this is the reason why we've done that, okay? The reason why we've done that is because God gave me the vision for this book, the idea for this book almost 2 years ago. I'd been doing a lot of praying, a lot of fasting, asking God to just show me the way in business. And then one day, I was talking to my wife in the morning. We were getting ready I was getting ready for doing some work for my business, and she was getting ready to get her stuff going together as well. And I walked through the doors of the bedroom, and literally God said, "Video book." That's all I heard. I said, "Video book." I was like, I should write a video book. And I didn't know what a video book was. And I was like, okay, how can I incorporate video into a book and be different, right? So I remember as I was working with the school system, and I was a high school videographer teacher, a high school teacher teaching video production and film. I I remembered that I was working with the yearbook staff, and the yearbook staff was like, they have an option to do a video yearbook where you guys can like see your members. Like, imagine you could see 20 years later, you got your yearbook, and you can scan the QR code, and the memory that's actually the picture of the book in the book, it has a memory attached to it, and you can actually see yourself or people that you went to school with 20 years ago in video. It'd be awesome, right? Like back when I was in high school, we had video cameras, but it wasn't used the way they're used today, like cameras on phones and things like that. So it'd be awesome if I could pull my yearbook out, see a memory like, oh, I remember that game, and then actually, you know, uh, do the video and actually see the video of that clip of that game. I was like, oh man, that would be great. So I decided to incorporate that inside of a book, and I created a video course that goes along with the book inside of here, and also it has the worksheets and everything that's guiding to help you eradicate fear and get over fear. So I had to, trust God and do the things that God had given me to do, because He's given me a mission to bless the people. And this is where I've been. I was a teacher, and I was scared to leave my job, and I had a lot of fear surrounding, just being an entrepreneur. And because of that, it kept me in bondage. It kept me in bondage. And a lot of you are feeling the same way. A lot of you are in bondage. A lot of you hate going to your work job. A lot of you are clock watchers. You're sitting there watching the clock, waiting for the time for you to leave. And so I know that you're feeling like that. And so I've created a solution to help you get over that and get out of that situation. Because if you're feeling that way, that means you don't need to be there. And I know people are going to say, well, you don't tell anybody, because that's poverty-minded people always want the security of a job, right? Like, there's people that have quit jobs and have been fine. There's people that quit job and failed, and the reason why they fail is because they allow themselves to fail. Like, failure is not real. Failure is an illusion. The only time you fail is when you quit. If you quit, then yes, you'll fail. You will fail at things, but if you continue to go and push, you'll finally do well, and you'll finally push through and actually have success in that thing, in that area, if you continue to push and have persistence. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how rocky the road looks, you have to be resilient, right? So in order to do that, guys, you have to change your mindset. Now, a lot of you just out there running businesses because you just know that you can make money off of it, and you don't have any business background, and you haven't done any of the fear work, like getting rid of a lot of fear. Like, you're doing it because it's comfortable and it's easy, and you're getting money off of it, and you're thinking like, oh man, I'm good. But guess what? What happens when the snaps and the slaps come? They do come. And what is a snap and a slap? A snap and a slap is when things don't work like they used to work anymore, because they either change the algorithm or they change the way they do business, and you don't have you don't have a strong foundation of faith that gets you past that fear barrier, because when things happen and things start going down, then you don't have the business information to know what to do once things start going down. Like you're like, okay, I gotta go back to work, right? So once you leave work, you feel that freedom and you don't want to go back anymore, right? Like it's amazing. Like I broke out of being locked into a job. I broke out of that and I became a business owner, and I don't want to go back. And I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care what happens. I'm not going back. I'm not going back and being a slave to anybody and doing the things that they want me to do, and making me eat at a certain time and making me be there at a certain time and saying I can go to the bathroom at a certain time. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm a grown person. I have my own life and nobody's going to control me, and you should feel the same way, right? So you need to eradicate fear. So that's why we're going to put this book out there, because when we put this out, the Amazon has 2 reviews up here for this book, and the 2 people that purchased the book, it's been more people that purchased the book. Let me just say that. We haven't sold any of the books this year, so that's why I said 0. But the 2 people that purchased the book put in a review, and it literally said it changed their lives. And that's when I knew, and my wife knew when we read those again a few days ago. She's like, yo, that's it. You need to be pushing that. And I was like, it's been sitting on the shelf for 2 years. And so now it's time to push it, guys. It's time for this to be the number one thing that we push, because it's going to change lives, right? And so everything that I ever want, if I serve the kingdom first, everything that I all wanted, like I love to help build businesses from the ground up, and we're still doing that. But we want to start here. You have to start here. You have to start with getting rid of the fear, because if I tell you, and I always say this and I continue to say it, if I tell you to raise your price from 200 to 2,000 and you don't have the mindset, if you haven't eradicated fear, that fear is going to sit there and it's going to block you from your blessing. It's going to block you from being able to make more money in a short amount of time, right? So you have to get rid of the fear. So that's our initiative to sell the book. All right. So we went over that. Yesterday was that first day that I announced it out to you guys. So we're gonna shift our focus on that, and that's where we're gonna be. Like I said, we might lose people. That's fine. We might gain people. That's even better. But either way, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna follow what God told me to do and do it inside of my heart. I know you guys that have been with me from the beginning is like, man, you've said that about 4 times. Like, yeah, because God, that's the beauty of the journey. God, he takes you on a journey. He puts you in a place so you can learn something. Then he takes you out and puts you in another place, learn. All these things are training grounds. So when you finish the training, you can now go out and execute. And this is the time. This is my time to go out and execute. So you might be sitting in a time of learning, guys. You might be. This is your time to learn. Like, if you are still battling with fear, this is step 1. Get rid of the fear. This is your sign. If you've been praying, like, God, show me the way, this is the way. This is the number 1. This is the first step into your process, right? Getting rid of the fear and starting to build your faith, right? Starting to build your faith. And I got ways to do all of that, guys. It's inside of the book, and inside of the book there is a course. All right, so what happened yesterday was we decided we was going to do that. So what we started to do, guys, is we started compiling a list. We're going to compile a list of all of the people, because I know that I need to get in front of as many people as possible in the shortest amount of time in order for me to sell 100,000 of these books. So the first thing I did was is I started compiling a list of people, of influencers that have a huge following that I could possibly borrow their audience. And what does that mean? I'm going to go in and I'm going to do what I call pitch and pray. I have a process for that. I have a framework for pitching and praying. And what's that? How I found out about this is that I was in a course that I actually paid for with Nicole Walters, and she had this great idea. She has this great thing called pitch and pray. And so I looked at it and I was like, yo, this is genius. It's so simple. It's so easy. It's genius. And she says, many of people have done this, and it works, and it works, and it works, because there's a principle behind it. And I don't have time to get into it right now, but I promise you, inside of my masterclass, I'll get into it, and I'll give you guys all the inside scoop of all of that inside my masterclass. So you need to join the masterclass. So if you go down in the below, you can grab the book, and then you'll be on the list, and I'll let you know when the masterclass for the book comes up. All right, so you can grab the book. It's free plus shipping, right? Free. All you have to do is take care of the shipping. Right now, the shipping is $9.99 on it, so do it with the shipping. and then you'll get the book absolutely free, the physical book. Now you have the option of getting the actual audio book, and then we also have another version of it, a digital version that you can get as well. So, but you'll pay $25 for that, but you can get this one absolutely free, sent to your house. $7.95. I mean $9.95, 99 cent shipping. Just take that. All right. So what we did was we compiled a list of all of these people that we're going to pitch and pray. So we did 100. So we figured that business is just a numbers game. So we're going to go to 100 people, and we're going to either send them a free copy of the book digitally or actually physically. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do just yet. We're probably going to have to do both to see which one works the best. But what we're going to do is we're going to pitch those people, and then we're going to wait. And if they respond, we'll move accordingly. And if they don't respond, we'll pitch them again in 30 to 45 days. And we'll keep doing that throughout the year until we tap into everybody's audience. So that's the first thing that we're going to be doing. So we had an actual breakthrough yesterday because, and I hope, and I just pray that my sister understands where I'm going with this, and my brother-in-law understands where I'm going with this. And I'm not trying to put air family business out here, but I just wanted to just be transparent to you guys and let you guys know what's going on. So, I called my sister yesterday because I had an idea. I was like, I got this book. I got to get it in front of as many people as possible. I'm trying to sell 100,000 of these books, and like I believe I can do it. I believe that it can happen, and all we have to do is have a strategy. Now, the reason why you don't believe that you probably don't believe that I can do it. You probably won't believe that you could do it, but you can. And the reason why you don't believe that you can do it is because you have fear surrounding. You got to eradicate fear. You have fear surrounding your belief. You have limiting beliefs that's creating fear, that's stopping you, and that's stunting your future, right? This fear is going to stop you from reaching the goals that you have in your future. So I believe that I can do it. So what I did was I called my sister and I said, yo, I'm trying to sell 100,000 books. I need to speak to your husband, because her husband okay, and and I apologize beforehand, Tawana, if you hear this and you didn't want this to be aired out, but her husband just got out of jail, and right before Christmas, and it was a great Christmas gift for her. So she was happy. She didn't even call me, so she was excited. Anyway, so he got out of jail, and so I was like, wait a minute. One thing I know about people in jail is that they read a lot, and there's a lot of them that read because they have to pass time some type of way, so they read. So I was like, ooh, what if I could get my book into the jail system? So I called him up and I was like, man, I know you had you just got out, man. Congratulations, all that stuff. And I was like, I know you probably have some connections with inside of the jail. So I called him up and I said, how can I get my book inside of the jail system? How did I do that? Because I remember a long time ago, because this is actually my third book. I remember a long time ago when I wrote my first book that there was a way that a guy was talking to a guy that was selling books. He's like, man, I sold $100,000 worth of books. And I just did it through the jail system. And I was like, how do you get in there? It's like, there's a list. You got to put your book on the list. And so I didn't know how to do it and whatever. So we just forgot about it. But I remembered it. And so I remember that, okay, he was in jail. So maybe if I went through the jail system, that can get a lot of eyes on my book. And I might be able to get those guys free books just for them to pay the shipping, $9.99 shipping, and I can get them the free books. So I talked to him, and he's like, yeah, all you need to do is you need to go to such and such and doing boo whoop. And he gave me the whole rundown of how to actually get into jail. And I was like, bam, that's it. So he gave me the contact information. So today we're actually going to call him. But then he called me back last night, and this is the beautiful thing about it last night. As he called back last night, he said, you know what? I know who we need to go through. So he says there's this guy, he's a chaplain over the Muslim faith, over the Muslim congregation inside of the jail system. He's like, he can get into any system, any jail system in the entire state of Virginia, and he can take anything that he can. And they said, that's our way in. So what he did was he called him up. So he's going to set up a meeting with him so that we can start collaborating and getting the book into the jail system. So that was already a win already, guys. And all it took was just a mindset. So I'm going to let you know, guys, what's going to happen with that, what happens with that. Until then, man, follow the journey, man. Go to my Instagram, follow me on Instagram, watch me on that platform. I'm probably going to be putting these podcasts on YouTube. And I'll probably put some videos on YouTube of everything that's going on and documenting the journey. I want you to be a part of the journey. I want you to see what's going on. I want you to model what we're doing. And I figured this would be a lot more advantageous for you to be able to see it actually and watch it and hear it and all of that stuff and just build a channel around this, because this is going to actually show you step by step in person, and watching it, you'll be able to see the ups, you'll be able to see the downs. And I felt like this would be a great opportunity to actually teach by showing us actually in the fire, actually doing this stuff. So Eradicate Fear is the book. We're going to be pushing it. Take the book and look at the book as, replace this book with your product. So just pretend like we're selling, like I'm selling your product, or pretend like I'm selling your service. You're going to be able to do the same exact things that I'm doing to sell this book, to sell your product or service, and I'll explain that along the way. So follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, and watch the process of me selling 100,000 of these books. Now, I need your guys' help. I need you guys to share. Like, if you can't do a free version, because I'm sending this to you free. If you can't purchase get the book free, just pay the shipping, $9.99 shipping. If you can't pay the shipping, then just do me a favor, share the video, share the initiative. I'm going to be putting stuff out on my page, so just share it. Just share it. It's free to share. All I have to do, I just asking for your help. I'm asking for your encouragement to help me 365 days promote this book. All right. So with that being said, guys, listen. Remember that everything you do today affects your future. So remember tomorrow. My name is Derek, Mr. Fresh Harper. Go grab the book. Link is in the bio. And I'll see you tomorrow. You dig?